First thing you want to do for this recipe is get some warm water, add 1 packet of instant yeast or a tablespoon of yeast and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup and allow it to stand for about 30 minutes. All right, so our yeast has developed and we're ready to do the next step. The next step is pretty simple. Some whole wheat flour, and I freshly grinded this flour myself. I feel pretty badass about it. So whole wheat flour. You could also use a flour of your choice. I'm going to be using some flax meal, some sweetener of my choice, and some baking powder. Now let's get started. All right, so I want to start by adding about a cup, 150 grams of sweet potato to the bowl. Then we're going to add our yeast water. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flax meal, 3 tablespoons of coconut sugar, and about a tablespoon of baking powder. Now we combined this together. All right, and we start adding our flour. I'm going to add about 2 cups of flour. Hopefully it works out. Okay, 2 cups of flour is the amount that we'll start with. Now we just combine it and allow it to thicken up real thick. And it looks as if we need way more flour. I'm hoping this works out because we don't know how freshly ground flour responds. I don't know if it makes bread that well, but we're going to see. But I'm hoping that we can make it happen and we have enough flour. Okay, so once it's combined in a surface where we can continue kneading just a little bit, I'm going to add some flour here and we're going to dump it on this cutting board. Mix it. I'm going to get some flour and just knead it with the flour. I could already sense a difference in this flour. I can sense that it's not as sturdy as the regular whole flour. As you can see, it's still nice and sticky. Not as sturdy. But we're going to see how it works, okay? Our dough, and just drop it in the bowl. Drop the rest of the flour. And then I'm going to allow this to proof by the oven and double in size as much as possible. I want to get a lot of air in this dough. Now we're just going to use a rolling pin to flatten out. This is a very interesting flour because it's home, like I grounded it myself. I'm going to add some sweet potato puree and I'm just going to smear it on. I have here some, date and nut paste. It's really good. It's in my other video. I'll leave the link on the description below, but it's just leftover that I have. And what we want to do is kind of separate it a bit. Okay, the last thing that I want to do is add a little nuts, some crunch to it. It's always very delicious. Some coconut sugar on the very top. The cinnamon. Here's what I'm going to do. Just going to cut a few incisions here. And then I'm going to do that on the other side. We will just fold over the dough. Doing crisscross. Something like that, you know what I mean? And this one, we're just going to seal it a little bit more, kind of like a circular shape. And as you can see, it looks really nice. This does look pretty nice. Now I'm just going to transfer it to a tray. All right, perfect. I'm going to put a towel on top of it and allow it to proof for about 10 minutes before I put it in the oven. So our bread has proofed, and I'm just going to add some maple syrup on the top. Now we're going to add some almonds. You can add them in the middle so they don't fall. That way you can get a nice crunch in the inside and crunch in the outside. Now I'm going to bake it until it's fully baked. It's probably going to be ready in about 20 minutes. And there you have it. An amazing homemade bread with homemade flour. It's a bit rustic, but it looks delicious. Oh wow, that's really tasty. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is delicious. This may not look like it's good, but it is very tasty. It's fluffy, it's moist, it's not tough at all. It's so good. This will go good with a cup of coffee. Or some hot chocolate. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.